In the past, you have talked about strict Islamic rule. Is that still the plan?
And a man claiming to lead a rebel group in Syria has pledged allegiance to al-Qaeda. Abu Mohammed al Jolani is said to be the head of al-Nusra Front. In an audio clip, he's now declared allegiance to Ayman al-Zawahiri, the head of al-Qaeda.
A rebrand for the al-Nusra Front, the second largest Islamist group in Syria after the Islamic State organization, is cutting ties with global terror network al-Qaeda and changing its name.
We declare the cancellation of all operations under the name of Jabhat al-Nusra and the formation of a new group operating under the name Jabhat Fatah al-Sham. This new organization has no affiliation to any external entity.
The great mystery is whether al-Jolani will continue to be like that as ruler of Syria, or will he slip back to his extremist ways? That is the question which much of the world is now asking.
Many Syrians are happy and will be happy to see the end of the Assad regime, but they're also worried about what HTS rule would mean, including minorities.
No one has the right to erase another group. These sects have coexisted in this region for hundreds of years, and no one has the right to eliminate them. There must be a legal framework that protects and ensures the rights of all, not a system that serves only one sect, as Assad's regime has done.
One of the biggest mysteries in Syria following the fall of the Assad regime is who is the person who is likely to become Syria's next ruler. Mohammed al Jolani, head of the rebel group HTS that took over the country in the last few weeks. Now, al-Jolani came from a middle-class home in Damascus. He got radicalized by the 9/11 terror attacks in the US. When the US invaded Iraq subsequently, he went to fight the US forces in 2003. He joined an al-Qaeda affiliate there, but got captured by the Americans and spent 5 years in a US military prison in Iraq. When he was released, he went back to Syria and joined a group called al-Nusra, which was also connected with al-Qaeda. But in 2016, he actually disavowed al-Qaeda and started to run his own group, HTS, the one that has swept through Syria in recent weeks. Since that time, he has shaped that group to be much more moderate than the extremist groups that he was affiliated with previously, even though it is still labelled a terror organisation.
This is an opportunity for Syria, but the focus at the moment has to be on making sure this is a turning point for the good. We've all seen, in other parts of history, how where we think there's a turning point, it turns out not necessarily to be the better future that we hope for. We've got to make sure this is different. That means working with allies to that end.
It's now crucial that HTS, which has an Islamist background, is transforming itself with deeds, and not only with words, and we have seen some deeds in the past days, into a force that can integrate also the other minorities.
In the past, you have talked about strict Islamic rule. Is that still the plan?
People who fear Islamic governance either have seen incorrect implementations of it or do not understand it properly. We are talking about something that aligns with the traditions and nature of the region. The most important thing is to build institutions. We are not talking about rule by individuals or personal whims. It's about institutional governance. Syria deserves a governing system that is institutional, not one where a single ruler makes arbitrary decisions.
As he's gone south, conquering city after city, he's ordered that minorities not be persecuted. He's said that women do not have to wear Muslim dress. So he has so far been very pragmatic and less rigid and extreme than his background would suggest. The great mystery is whether al-Jolani will continue to be like that as ruler of Syria, or will he slip back to his extremist ways? That is the question which much of the world is now asking.